because this is going to help out with our monarch butterfly population. I don't know if you've heard the news, but they're not doing too well. So this is a way for you to help feed them and nourish them with something that they love to eat, actually the only thing that they eat, butterfly weed. So I want to introduce you to Jim Monroe. He brings us Hort Couture. Welcome on in.
Thank you so much.
So can you let everyone know about Hort Couture? What about this brand? It's new to us.
Absolutely, and we're just so excited to be here. We're bringing really exclusive varieties to QVC, which in the world of plants is really something new here. And everything we do, we're actually a plant breeding company, and we're also a company that's trying to connect fashion with the Hort Couture, so that we make maybe gardening a little less intimidating to younger consumers that want their places to be beautiful, but just need the confidence. And I think we feel like our varieties can give them just exactly what they're looking for.
So I like it, so we can create that designer garden.
Exactly.
Well, this is a 3-piece Monarch Promise butterfly weed plant. So let's kind of talk about, and as you said, exclusive, only here at QVC. Right. So what is important, or why is this plant special?
Yeah, so Monarch Promise is very unique. We have a lot of native species of butterfly weed in the United States. This is a tropical type. So this is going to bloom much, much longer than what you're ever going to get with your native types. The native types, they cycle through bloom. So this variety is going to have flowers on it every day in your garden. It has this amazing variegated foliage, which we'll see in the stills a little more later. But the biggest thing is that the monarch butterfly populations are really hurting. We have lost since 1985. In San Capistrano in 1985, the census was like 4 to 5 million butterflies. Last year, that same census was less than 30,000. It's incredibly sad.
But they need our help. So
Absolutely.
This is a great way to help them, because you were telling me some fun facts. This is actually what they eat.
Yeah, they're very specific in their nectar source, and this is the plant that provides the habitat for them to continue to foster growth and growth of the populations. And it's going to become an endangered species if we don't really work hard at planting, the right plants for them to eat. And no other butterfly weed, butterfly bush, anything is going to provide the food source that Monarch Promise is for this plant.
Well, let's take a look how it will look in your garden, because you might say, I do want to help the butterflies, but is it going to add beauty to my outdoor space? So take a look. We're going to show you some photos.
Yeah, it's just you can see as the season goes, the foliage gets these darker blush pinks and reds and oranges in the foliage, and the variegated foliage just becomes such a bright element of this as time goes. And it's just, it's great as like a thriller in the center of a pot, where you maybe use some petunias as some spiller, and really make this a centerpiece for your pots. And the fact that if you have young kids or whatever, you're going to have all these monarch butterflies all summer in your garden. So
let's show everybody how the plants arrive, because it's a 3-piece collection.
It is.
So when this arrives, what do they look like?
Yeah, what we're shipping is a really beautiful little 2.5-inch pot, and this plant is very easy to grow.
Okay, so what should I do when it arrives?
So when it comes in, it's a very drought tolerant plant.
Good.
So it's not going to require a huge amount of care like some annuals do in your pots or in landscape plantings. If you actually live in southern tier states like say Florida or Texas, California, this is actually going to be a hardy plant that will be a shrub for you. But this is going to require minimal care, fantastic amount of flowers. You're going to get thousands of flowers off of one little plant, and this will turn into a plant this big probably in just a matter of weeks once you first get it.
So we'll get from here to here.
We're
going to right in just a couple of weeks.
Incredibly fast.
And so any tips on where in our garden this should go? If we're going to put it in the ground, shade, sun, partial?
Absolutely provide this plant with full sun.
Okay.
And very open areas so that it's very easy for monarchs to sense the pollen source.
Okay.
And it's just going to be so easy to grow, and it's not really, it's a low water requirement plant. So if you're in an area where maybe you have, your city has some water restrictions on you, this is a great way to have a ton of color all summer without a lot of watering. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be that Monarch butterfly buffet. They're going to come in, it's a smorgasbord for the butterflies. And they're going to come to your home, and they're going to just cover this plant. And the blooms will be there, the beautiful color will be there all summer long. So when this arrives, that's when you know to plant it.
Absolutely.
And this will keep blooming, which is unusual for this type of plant.
Yeah, like I said, this is a tropical or annual type, so this is going to stay in bloom non-stop and just continue. Every bud, every leaflet's going to produce more and more flowers. Where with your native Asclepias, which is the botanical name for butterfly
Okay, you
weed,
went Latin on me. Okay.
yeah, you're only going to get sporadic flowering on the plant. So it's literally 10 times or more the amount of flowers over the course of a season.
Well, remember, you get 3 of them, so we're showing you just 2 full, and then you're gonna get your 3 plants. So great as a container. Maybe put it somewhere where you can see it from a window so you can enjoy all those butterflies. Put it on a deck. Many of you picking up more than one set. And what I thought was really interesting, Jim mentioned, this is the only plant that monarch butterflies actually eat the nectar. So they may be attracted to other bushes and plants, but this is what actually gives them the nourishment that they need to thrive and survive. We got to help those little guys out, and you can add beauty to your garden space as well.
Absolutely. And there is no better plant to do this with, and the only place you're going to find this is on QVC.
It's only here.
Yeah.
M67388. Hey Jim, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much for your time.
Well, we have lots of great plants in the show, so if you are a gardener, you're looking for something